we struggle so much, and there's so much tension in our bodies, in our minds, in our emotions. We struggle so much, and it really can be easy. I was just thinking this morning, oh my God, I'm so blessed. I was I was on the terrace drinking my coffee, and I was thinking, oh God, I have such a beautiful life. And oh, all right, that's true. I have uh, so many responsibilities, and that come with a lot of tension and stress sometimes. But mm, the stress is mostly in our mind in the first place, and then it comes and descends and fills our body, and it's a shame because we can really shake that off of us. And it sounds difficult, but it's really not. That's what I want to teach people through my art and through my teachings and through my meetings and classes and my simple person-to-person interactions, that it can be easy. Just shake it off. Just shake it off. Just be yourself. Just take a moment to breathe.
Stay connected to gratitude. Hit the follow button right now and join thousands of listeners tuning in each week. We're the Gratitude Seekers. Come join us. Hi, Gratitude Seeker. Welcome to a new episode of the Gratitude Podcast. Today is a really special episode for me because I have a close friend invited. She's a local artist here in Cluj, and she's using her creative energy and her talent to lead and inspire people through her Heaven's Corner group that I'm a part of as well. She's illustrating books beautifully. She's writing her own books and poems, and she's creating some amazing paintings, some amazing artwork that you can also see while actually listening to this episode, because the podcast art for the Gratitude Podcast is created by her. Her name is Cristina Muresan-Tot, and I'm really happy to have her here with us. And I also forgot something that's quite important. She's a great storyteller, and I always love listening to her, so I'm sure that you will enjoy her presence as well. Cristina, welcome to the Gratitude Podcast.
Hello, Georgian. Thank you very much. It's nice to hear you. It's nice to be here with you. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So let our audience know a little bit more about you. I've included the main things, but I'm sure that you can also share some interesting things with our audience as well.
Okay. What would be interesting or new to say about me? It's the fact that latest I've transformed my art um, into a more spiritual kind of art. I used to do commercial art, uh, book illustrations, just as you said, and I thought maybe it's time to really express my soul fully, to bring something from deep inside of me, and to give this to the world. And that was the time when I started working as a creator, and not so much as a businesswoman, but as a creator, fully inspired, and giving myself, my thoughts, my beliefs to the world
Beautiful.
in an inspiring way.
I love that, and you know it, of course. And that's exactly what I wanted to mention, but I somehow forgot. one of the things that I appreciate most about you is your connection with the divine and how authentic it is, and how you're able to bring the beauty from higher planes to this one. And I think that's quite unique. It's something that that many of us aspire to, but there are few that actually are able to do this. So I appreciate you very much for this, and I'm really happy that you chose to do this. And another thing that I wanted to say about Cristina is that she's that kind of artist that I don't know if you've had this happen to you, but when you listen to a song and you like it, actually you love it, and afterwards you go and search for the songs from that artist, and you fall in love with all of the songs, and you realize that, oh my god, this artist creates some things that really resonate with my heart, with what I really love. And it was the same for me with the works of Cristina. She even when she did commercial art, it was incredible. And I'm really happy that the Gratitude podcast has art created by her, and I really want to share with you what she's able to create. So we will have some links in the description of this episode so that you can see her work. But let's get back to gratitude. So, uh, Cristina, let us know what gratitude means for you.
Gratitude for me equals happiness. Being grateful means being happy in the most pure and simple and accessible way possible. Because it's so easy to be grateful, really, for the smallest things in our life, for because we take for granted our health, our our appearance, our looks, our relationships, and even when there are times when we don't find anything to be grateful for, we go through hard times. Uh, I'm sure there are so many small things that we can be grateful for, like our hands, our heart, our beating heart, our friends, our family members that are alive and well, and so on and so forth. And it's so easy. And the most amazing thing that happens when you're grateful is the fact that uh, our entire biochemistry shifts from unwell to wellness in just a moment of gratitude, just a small moment of gratitude, when we make an inventory of the things that go well in our life, the smallest things: our bed, our table, the food we eat, the people we see, just small things. And we go into a place of well-being. And it's great because suddenly things look brighter.
That's so true. Yeah, it only takes a moment, and when we shift our focus, it's it feels like a miracle. That
Mhm.
even though nothing actually changes on the outside, we see it so differently, and we experience the moment in such a different way. And I think it's something wonderful that we all have, and that we can all access quite easily. And I'm curious if you have some words of wisdom about gratitude, a quote or something like this that you love.
There is a quote, I don't know who said it, but I really, really like it. It says, the best prayer you can ever say to God is thank you. And that's related to gratitude. And it's so
Yeah.
simple and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's true. At least in our culture, I'm not sure if it's the same in all of the cultures of the people listening to us. Um, Many of our prayers have to do with asking for things, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it's very important that we take the time to thank, at least in the beginning, if not all of the prayer itself, to be of gratitude, because it really gets us in a place of abundance instead of a place of lack. When we're always asking, it feels like we don't have enough. But when we are grateful, we we go from a place of abundance, of enoughness, and that
Mm-hmm.
really changes everything.
Yes, that's right. And it gives us a different kind of relationship with God when you don't approach Him uh, from a place of emptiness or need. When you just say thank you, and there's it forms a place, a space for true friendship when you can rejoice and celebrate.
Yeah, I love your relationship with the Creator, with God, um, and really um, it really feels like a friendship,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that not many of us are able to actually experience. The idea of it is very interesting, but of course, in many of our cultures, we were brought up to have a different kind of relationship of father and son,
Mm-hmm.
um, not a friendship. And I think this kind of this perspective is very interesting, because we we feel that we have a dialogue, and it's not just um, us having to do some things that we are expected to do, but we have a saying in it. And I think that's very beautiful about this perspective.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So what I also wanted to find out, I actually never asked you this. um, Many people, many of us know about gratitude as a concept, and have known about gratitude possibly since we were children. But for all of us, there was this moment that actually helped us understand in our own experience what gratitude is. What was that moment for you?
Ever since I started my business so seriously, and I found a place and a colleague and a team to work with, um, I realized that I was so blessed with wonderful people. And sometimes taking the time to think and to acknowledge these wonderful people that surround you in your life um, just gives you a wonderful boost to your business. I'm talking about my business because this takes almost 100% of my life, because this is what I do, this is who I am, this is what I give to the world. My friends are my clients are my friends. My husband supports me a lot, and I bring all all the energy my family gave me into my business, all the gifts that my parents, my grandparents gave me, all of this I bring into my business. I give this into, I bring this into the gift I have to give to the world. And it's such a wonderful network of people that I'm surrounded with. And I always say that uh, it's through them that I became a wonderful person and a wonderful giver, because I feel that above all I am a giver. I i'm a creator, I play, but all this art and all this creation is for the people. It's not just for myself. It is for my joy and my playfulness, but it is ultimately for the people. And if there weren't for the people around me, I wouldn't be so graceful.
That's so true, and um, it's been my experience as well, seeing the things that you've done and the impact that your work has had on people. It's definitely coming from a place of giving, and yeah, that's one of the things that I appreciate about you as well, and also the love that you have for people. I think it's so generous and so unique. I haven't met too many people that are able to really um, love people the way you do. What's your secret to that? How are you able to love so much the people around you?
uh, I don't know. It just comes naturally, I guess. I'm a person of the world, so to say. I like people. I like emotions. I like interaction. I like authentic interactions. I like touching people, hugging them, feeling them, hearing them. I was just thinking the other day about how often we hear people, but we don't really listen. We watch, but we don't really see. And it's the only kind of relationship that I have and I want in this life, um, the authentic kind, the authentic ones, where we can be ourselves, where we can see each other and be there for each other and heal each other in so many wonderful ways. And yes, I love people. They inspire me, they enrich me, they motivate me.
So beautiful. Um, I talk a lot about the two things that I've seen um, in all of the cultures and in all of the religions of the people that I've interviewed, and um, my search for truth has led me to gratitude and love. These are for me universal. I've seen them and I've talked about them on the podcast with people either from Japan or from South Africa or from Australia, or it doesn't really matter where they are from. Um, these things are the ones that we have in common, and I believe they are very important for us to have a fulfilled life, to have a beautiful life. If we're able to love the people around us, love ourselves as well, of course, and be grateful, I think they are um, the basis for a happy and fulfilled life. And I think it's wonderful that I can see this in you. I can see uh, how much you appreciate people and how much you love them, and how much you can create out of that love and appreciation. And I think that you're really a beautiful example, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this interview with you so that our audience can get a sense of that as well. And um, I'm sure they can hear it in your voice and in the way that you speak that this is how you live your life. But I also wanted to ask you if this is how you were since you were a child, or is it something that you were able to master in time, like with gratitude, for instance? What would you tell your younger self about gratitude?
Hmm. That's very funny you should ask, because I was thinking about me as a child recently, and I've always thought that I was mm, God's little spoiled girl. Because I really felt that I was so blessed, even as a child. And I had a very special connection with God even then, but it refined in time. It refined in time as I grew up and I grew as a person, as a human being, as a woman, and as an artist. Um, yeah, but it starts very early. It starts very early, um, and it's like a rough diamond that you should polish. You should polish and offer to the others, because when we find something beautiful and amazing in us, I think we should give it to the others. I think it's our duty to polish that gift, to polish that happiness inside, and to offer it to the others, to show it, to help them reach that place inside of them too.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, I can totally feel what you're saying, and it comes from a beautiful place when you know that you're blessed and you want to give to others and you want to um, like you said, to refine what's inside of you so that you can give even more generously and more beautifully to the people around you and
Mm-hmm.
become a blessing for other people as well. And that's very beautiful. But I also wanted to ask you about um, some of the hard times that you went through. Um, were you able to find gratitude in those moments or after those moments? Maybe you can share one of those moments with us.
It's very hard to be grateful when you're very deep, deep down in sorrow or grief or suffering. Um, and the reason why we find it hard to be grateful then is because uh, we're living in our own story, our story of the moment. We write, we say to ourselves a story, we tell ourselves a story of what's happening right then, and we fail to see the bigger picture. Because every time when we see the bigger picture, there's always room for gratitude and there's always something good about it. But sometimes it's very hard to see it when a relationship fails or ends. Um, you have to be very wise or very detached and relaxed and peaceful inside to realize the gifts that come with it. Or when you fail in your business, or when you have a fight with someone, uh, it's hard to be grateful that very moment. But um, it's a very useful tool to help you heal better or sooner. And I think one of the things that I want to teach people is easiness. Easiness of access, easiness of being, because uh, we struggle so much, and there's so much tension in our bodies, in our minds, in our emotions. We struggle so much, and it really can be easy. I was just thinking this morning, oh my god, I'm so blessed. i was I was on the terrace drinking my coffee, and I was thinking, oh god, I have such a beautiful life. And oh, all right, that's true, I have uh, so many responsibilities, and that come with a lot of tension and stress sometimes. But mm, the stress is mostly in our mind in the first place, and then it comes and descends and fills our body, and it's a shame, because we can really shake that off of us. And it sounds difficult, but it's really not. That's what I want to teach people through my art and through my teachings and through my meetings and classes, and my simple person to person interactions, that it can be easy. Just shake it off. Just shake it off. Just be yourself. Just take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to bring yourself to you. Take a moment for yourself. Get out of your mind. Get out of the tactics, the strategies. Get out of there and just come back to yourself. Come back to your basic needs. Come back to breathing. It's just as simple as that. Come back to breathing for a moment, and maybe a new solution will come.
That's so true. And um, interestingly enough, there is actual research behind this. The fact that when we are um, when we are stressed out, when we are thinking about the problems, we are using our reactive brain and the reactive part of
Mm-hmm.
our brain. And when we breathe, when we are centered, when we are in gratitude, we are using the response mode of the brain. And even though the difference might be very small, as far as wording goes, um, when we are reactive, we just act impulsively, and when
Mm-hmm.
we are responsive, we are aware of all of the resources and the solutions that we have for those problems. And yeah, I love I love what you're doing in your interactions and through your art. And while you were explaining this part, I was actually thinking that I could definitely feel that when I'm looking at your art, and it just takes you in a different universe somehow, and it connects you to some really beautiful emotions, and also the colors that you're using makes me feel that ease, and that um, I think that ease is the best way to describe this. They are very beautiful, but easy to appreciate somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh,
This also came along the way, and it was a process, because looking at my art back then, from years ago or even months ago, uh, what we do represents ourselves. Uh, my art reflected the person that I was before, and my characters, the women that I painted, or the children, or whatever, They were so down to earth, controlling the environment, controlling their posture. And they seemed, and they were a little bit uptight. But as I transformed myself and as I let go of control and trusting God more, um, being more vulnerable and exposing myself to the unknown, my art um, became a different kind of art as well. Because I'm looking at my characters right now and I feel relaxed. They relax me, they inspire me. My body feels loose and happy just watching them, because that's the place that I created them from. And just looking at the characters, just looking at those women that I painted, how 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 they let themselves go, how they let themselves be, their hair running down, the shoulders being relaxed, their mouth, the eyes closed, symbolizing trust and inner peace and inner guidance. Flowers blooming. There's so much air and water in my art right now. Or as before, my art was so down to earth. It was
Mm-hmm.
about earth. It was about being stable, about being grounded. I used to draw flowers. I still love flowers very much, but now I'm so much concentrated and focused on air, on universe, stars, moon, sun, water, and underwater universes, because they are so flowy and so free and so washy and easy.
I love.
And I'm sorry, dear.
Sure.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I
No
just remembered
worries.
something. I was talking to a dear friend of mine who's a shaman, and he held a class, and I was there, and there was a person who was talking about his professional life, and he was such a kind and nice person, and um, he said, "I wish I could do this at my job. I wish I could be this." Um, at my job. And the shaman, my friend, said, "Dear people, we should be the same person at home and at work. We are the same person. There shouldn't be uh, divided. They shouldn't be divided. The person that I am in my personal life should be the person that I am at work. If I am kind, if I am uh, playful or passionate or funny, as a human being with my friends, that's what I should bring at work, that I should bring in my work, because that's who I am. That's who I am. I shouldn't put on a mask and try to be somebody else. And this brings me to Jim Carrey, and one of my favorite quotes. Um, Our need for acceptance can make us invisible in this world. So we should express ourselves at our full potential. That's why that's when I saw the difference that my art is making in people's lives, when I started to really express my inner world, my inner transformations. Because I really lived in the fear of acceptance. I was thinking every time I made a custom art, custom commission work, I was thinking, oh my God, is the client going to like it? Is he going to be pleased? I hope he's going to be pleased. And when when I was doing it, when I was painting it, I somehow felt constricted and um, fearful. My body shrinked somehow because of this fear. But when I said, okay, enough with this, I really want to expand. I want to expand. My body needs to expand. My soul, my heart, my creativity needs expansion. I need to express myself just the way I feel. And that's when the creator stage took off. And I realized that by doing this, I was having a greater impact on the world than I did before, although it comes with a greater vulnerability.
That's so true. And just the fact that we are able to be more vulnerable and to uh, put ourselves out there, it
Mm-hmm.
comes with a risk, but it also comes with an opportunity. And the interesting thing about gratitude as well is that in many times we're most grateful when we're most vulnerable, when we're able to ask for help or let other people know that we need help of some sort, or um, just situations in which we are not able to do some things, and there are people that are helping us out. And in those moments, we're feeling so much gratitude because there are people that are there for us, and that that brings so much gratitude in our hearts. And yeah, it's vulnerability is something that is also in and of itself related with gratitude, in the sense that for instance, Brene Brown talks about vulnerability and gratitude, just being able to be so vulnerable, to to tell the other person how much you appreciate them. This is an act of vulnerability as well. And you're very good at this from my point of view. You have that kind of courage to be vulnerable and to make uh, people feel seen and appreciated. And yeah, I think it's something wonderful that you're bringing to the world, and it's something that we can all learn to be more vulnerable and more open to seeing the efforts of other people and appreciating them, even just because they are the way they are.
Mm-hmm. I like vulnerability. It scares me. It scares me a lot. It scares the part of me who is very fond of control, or used to be very fond of control. But there are so many gifts in there. And I think to surrender is one of my favorite verbs. To surrender to the moment, to surrender to the people, to surrender to a situation. Not trying to control, just the amount of things that you can handle, and to let the rest to God or to the universe or to life. And talk about Brene Brown, I was thinking, what is vulnerability to me? What does it mean? And I found the answer. To me, being vulnerable is showing up at an event where I was invited to speak without having prepared anything to say. And I've been doing this for the last couple of years. It's really, really scary, but I know being spontaneous and natural and authentic is very important to me. These are very, very valuable um, concepts to me. And if I cannot be spontaneous and natural, then I don't want to be anything at all. And people kept asking me and inviting me to all sorts of events, and of course I said yes. And I didn't prepare anything. I just had a title, just a title, just an idea, a small idea. And I went there, and of course the organizers had no idea that I didn't prepare my speech. But I just trusted myself that if I was invited, if I wanted to go, then there is something I had to say. And if there's nothing I have to say, that I shouldn't say anything. And uh, funny thing, every time it it was so wonderful and so giving, and being spontaneous and not preparing anything helped me really connecting to the audience, because
Mm.
I felt them. I was talking to them. I wasn't reciting a poem or a speech. I just spoke to them about me and about them, and it feels so alive. It feels so natural, so good to be in the moment. And just as you said, mm, these things get refined in time. I wasn't able to do this before. That would have killed me literally. I think I could have fainted if I tried this earlier on. But but I really trust life to support me. And it's so beautiful and so enriching and so wonderful to do this. And as I said, it was a process. And um, our Heaven's Corner meetings helped me a lot. And there were so many experiences that built this up, this surrendering. You know, ecstatic dance, for instance. Do you know what that is?
I do, but you can tell our audience about it as well.
Okay. Um, we've been experiencing so many spiritual activities here, because, as I said, I really want people to to find easiness in their lives. And ecstatic dance is something that we've done here a couple of times. It was a wonderful experience. What is this? Ecstatic dance is a kind of free dancing that comes from um, your deepest needs and emotions, just expressing yourself fully without knowing any techniques or steps of dance. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't. You'd better not know anything. um, and there is some kind of music playing. It doesn't really matter, as long as it could be instrumental, it could be meditation music, or it can be more alert. But what's important is that you should let yourself free and express yourself. And I used to do salsa and other some kind of dances, and I was terrible at it. Oh my God, I was dreadful. And I said, what's going on? I'm such a sensual human being. I love my body. Why is it so hard? And it was hard for me because it took me to that place of control. It took me to that place of, oh my God, I have to know the steps. And that somehow contravened with my freedom and spontaneity values. And that's why I found ecstatic dance so valuable, because you can do whatever you want, and you can be who you really are. And it's such a healing experience, because sometimes our body just need to breathe deeply, or to lay down, or stretch in the most unusual ways. But our soul expresses itself through the body, and we should let the body be itself. And you know, mm, this ecstatic dance experiences kind of prepared me. If I can be so vulnerable with so many people around, and just be goofy or whatever I feel like, or passionate or sensual, or just childish, or crazy in my dance, it doesn't matter. That's who I am at that moment. That's what I need. And this helped me leave myself, give myself to surrendering. Yeah.
I can totally relate because, and I'm sure many of our listeners can relate as well. We live in a society where trying to control as many things as possible is something that is promoted quite a lot, and our lives are a lot about controlling the things that are happening. But in reality, there are so many things that are just out of our control, and when we're able to experience this, like you said, with this dance, just not having to control our bodies and just letting go, it just gives us an experience of how life can be in a different way. And um, it also relates, of course, with vulnerability. And um, when we're not controlling things, we feel vulnerable, and um, that makes it hard sometimes for us, that we're we have to be vulnerable to experience more emotions and to experience more gratitude. When we are able to let go more, we're able to let other people help us, for instance, and that also leads to more gratitude and to more appreciation of life, instead of just controlling it as much as possible. And I'm sure that many of us are either either still in that phase where they feel that they need to control as much as possible, or um, they have learned to let go more and to feel the ease more. But I'm sure that for either of them, this is very valuable and very interesting. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can write us a message on the Facebook or Instagram page.
Cristina, thank you so much for being here with us, for um, sharing your perspective on the world and on art and on gratitude. Of course, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Georgian. And are you still there?
Yeah,
I'd like to have a short message for our listeners, if I can.
sure.
Um, First of all, thank you very much for being here, Georgian. This is for you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for being my friend. I really love you. And this is for our listeners. Um, I think that first of all, we should be grateful for ourselves. And I invite you to think, what's your greatest power? What's your inner power? Because I was very surprised to find my inner power. It was not what I thought it was. In the past, because society encourages us um, to do certain things, I thought that I thought that my power was intelligence, or uh, being smart, being funny. Um, but it's not that. It wasn't my funniness or my smartness or anything like that. I found, and I was very surprised, as I said, I found that my inner power was relaxation, was being relaxed and calm. That's the place that I create from. That's the place that I interact with people from. Um, that's my power. That's my superpower. Being calm, being relaxed, being in my body. Um, it doesn't seem like much, but it's very strong and very creative. And I really invite you, dear people, to be grateful for yourselves and to look inside of you and ask yourself, what's my inner power? What's my true, my real superpower?
Thank you from my heart, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from my heart, from the bottom of my heart.
Hey, Gratitude Seeker, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this interview. I really appreciate it. And if you could think of one person that would also benefit from it, share it with them. It might actually be the inspiration that they need to make their day or maybe even their life much better. Thank you so much once again. This has been Georgian Benta. Don't forget to keep seeking and spreading gratitude. Are you experiencing more lack in your life than you used to? Unfortunately, some things are not in our control, but we can control how we see them. Join me on a 7-week journey from lack to abundance through gratitude. Go to georgianbenta.com/abundance course. That's georgianbenta.com/abundance course to join me now.